Hello everyone, and welcome back to another bake in the Arga Cooking and Baking YouTube channel. Today, after we've made this apple cake in the previous video, we're now going to be making another bake from the Irish Bakery book. Again, I shall link the information for the book below. And this time we are going to be making a lemon drizzle cake. Ingredients all weighed out. We have 200 grams of golden caster sugar, 200 grams of stalk we're using today, or you can use butter as the recipe says, but I had some stalk left over, so that's what I'm using up. 200 grams of self-raising flour with half a teaspoon of baking powder in. Then here we have Greek yogurt, 2 tablespoons, and 2 tablespoons of milk. Got our 3 lemons, which we're going to zest the 3 lemons and add that to the butter and the sugar as we cream it together, and our 3 eggs. So we shall head over to the mixer and we shall add in, first of all, as you always do when you make most cakes, or in fact all cakes that I've ever made, we shall cream together our butter and our sugar. We'll add our zest in and cream that into that. Then we shall gradually add the eggs, followed by a little bit of the flour to stop it from curdling. And then we shall pour it into a lined loaf tin, and we shall bake it in the Arga baking oven for about 45 minutes to an hour. And in between there, I should imagine it'll probably be around the 50-minute mark. We'll check it with the skewer to make sure it's cooked, and then once it's cooked we shall prick a few little holes in the top of it, and then we shall make the glaze using some icing sugar and the zest of the lemons, and we shall have a lovely, delicious lemon drizzle cake. So let's get baking. So in we go with our butter or stalk in this case, and then in we go with our sugar and the zest of our lemons. Unwaxed lemons, of course. For this, you don't want to be using any waxed lemons. Just put our K beater in, and then we shall give that a mix, and then we shall be back in a moment. And there we have our lovely creamed together sugar and butter, stalk in this occasion, and lemon zest. Now we shall add the flour, but first of all the eggs, and get this underway. Now we shall add in our yogurt and milk mixture, and then give it another good whisk to all combine it. Now that's everything all mixed in. So now I'm just going to line the baking loaf tin, one of the Arga bread loaf tins, and I just like to give the baking paper a bit of scrunch up, and then I find it lines the tin a lot easier. Right, so that's the cake tin lined. I mean, I'm not great at lining these things. I probably should buy a cake liner instead of using this, but it's home baking, so we use what we have, and at the end of the day, not everything has to look perfect. And if it looks perfect, then people won't think you've made it, because they'll think that it's been shop bought or made by a professional. So rustic is always a good thing in baking. So let's just now pour our batter in, and I'll get this poured in and levelled off, and then I shall show you it. So there we go, that's all in there, levelled off, and we'll pop it in the bottom of the Arga baking oven, as I said, for about 45 minutes or so. So let's just pop it in. Bottom set of runners of the Arga baking oven, and that's sitting there now for 45 minutes. Well, cake's done. 50 minutes, 55 minutes in the Arga, in the baking oven, as you saw when we put it in. I've now got it out, checked it with the skewer, come out clean, and then I've pricked it all over, ready to pour the lemon juice and icing sugar glaze on top, which is all mixed, ready to go. So let's pour it on. Here's the mixture of lemon juice, just juice of 2 lemons and 85 grams of icing sugar. Sift the icing sugar, mix it all together. You get a lovely little glaze like this to go on this beautiful lemon drizzle. So now it's been pricked all over, and now it's just a case of just, while it's hot, just drizzling this over and letting it soak in. So I'll get on with this job now. So there, it's all the glaze on. Just need to leave that to soak and completely cool in the tin, and then we can turn it out. And then just like that, the cake has cooled in the tin, as we said, after we'd glazed it, and it's now completely cool. It's been taken out of the wrapper, and this is what it looks like. And there we are. There you have it. One lovely lemon drizzle cake. As I said, because we wrapped it with grease-proof paper, baking parchment, and it's all folded in. That's why you get these little cracks, which aren't pulled out. It's just the folds of the paper, as you can see there. As we turn it round, look where the fold of the paper would have gone in. But you know, it's a lovely cake. I've made this recipe a few times now. I've made this recipe a few times, and every single time it comes out perfectly. And I can't be any happier with this recipe, and I love this book. And as I say, I will link below about the book. And if you get hold of this book, make the cake. If you like lemon cake, this is one of the best you will ever have. It's amazing. And with that, I shall be ending the video here. That's another cake baked out of this amazing book. And eventually when I make another cake, which won't be probably for a little while, but when I make another one, I'm going to attempt the flourless malted chocolate cake with the cream and the homemade honeycomb crunched all on the top. So that will be the next cake bake that comes out of this book on this channel when I get there. But I'll do some other cooking in between then, because you can't have too much cake, but in moderation is always good. So if you like this video, then please like and subscribe and comment below. And that little bark we heard was from the terrible two that have just arrived, because they can smell food has been cooked.